was sup to my YT. And today we're gonna be
No, it's not. That's impossible. And as I explained that it couldn't have been me, it's just gravity. Everyone knows that. He punched me in the face. I stood at Ms. Wilson's desk after the bell rang, in trouble for disrupting the class test, when suddenly I felt today's breakfast rising in my stomach. She was gone making photocopies, but I knew she'd be back any moment. The feeling in my stomach went to my throat, and I panicked, looking around for a bin, but I wasn't quick enough. My body propelled forward, and I got sick all over the stack of tests Ms. Wilson was just getting mad about. My throat burned and my eyes watered, and I wiped my mouth with my sleeve because the taste of sick would leave. But then I looked down, and my eyes widened in horror. The tests were soaked with my sick. I went blue in the face because if anyone found out, I'd become the kid who threw up on everyone's test. I grabbed tissues from Ms. Wilson's desk and frantically tried to wipe the vomit off the tests before she got back, but I only smeared it worse. The smell was making me sick.
Mama, I'm
Suddenly, footsteps in the hallway. My hands shook as the door swung open. Please no. A different teacher poked their head in and asked, "Where's Miss Wilson?" I quickly hid my vomit-stained tissue behind my back and stuttered back, "She's making photocopies." The teacher thanked me and left. I exhaled.
Yes.
My legs trembled as I tried to clean the tests again, but when I started ripping them on accident, I realized my only option was to hide them, but I was too disgusted to touch them, and the smell made me cover my nose. I needed to man up, so I grabbed a stack of clean tissues and used them as a barrier to pick up the vomit-covered stack of tests, but some of it slid off the bottom and went onto my hands, covering them and dripping on Miss Wilson's carpet. It wouldn't wash out. I recoiled and quickly looked for somewhere to put them to get it out of my hands. I couldn't just put them in the bin, but that's when the door handle started turning. Panic surged through me, and I just yanked open her drawer and shoved the tests in. I closed it right as she walked in. She walked to the desk, and my heart was pounding. But then her face changed as she sniffed the air. "What's that smell?" "I don't know," I said immediately, panicking. She shrugged, and while looking at me, placed her photocopies in the drawer I put the tests in. My eyes widened, but she looked at me and said, "You're a good kid. Promise me you won't ruin a test again." I gulped and nodded, and that's when she reached her hand out. "Shake on it." I hesitated, and my stomach was in knots because my hand was covered in vomit, but I couldn't say no. I reached out my hand and shook hers, but then her face dropped as our hands squelched. She pulled back and looked at the sick dripping from her fingers. "What is that?" She looked at me in disgust, and that's when she noticed her drawer handle was sealed. I was already moving towards the door, the smell still in my nose, when I heard her open the drawer. "What did you do to these tests?" I simply ran out, as she got sick and I'd been fighting the same tie for an hour. My picture day was in 20 minutes. I had a YouTube tutorial paused on my phone, but the tie was wrinkled from being pulled and undone 20 different ways. Dad tied them for me every morning, so I never bothered to learn. But he died of cancer.
Oh my God.
And now I was on my own.
6.
I threw the tie on the floor and laid back down. Since I couldn't figure it out, I just faked being sick and skipped picture day. My little brother Eli walked in holding a juice box and stopped when he saw the tie on the floor and me lying in bed. He set the juice box on the dresser and
52.
"Get up." I sat up and he stepped between my knees and flipped the collar of my shirt. He started looping the silk around itself like he'd done it 1,000 times. "Where did you learn to do this?" Dad showed me. He pulled the wide end through every night after dinner. After he got sick, he cinched the knot up under my chin. He couldn't sit up, so I had to practice on the line. He smoothed the tie
Vid.
down with both palms.
You're in a vid.
He said you need somebody to do it for you. He didn't want it to be nobody. Eli stepped back.
Vid.
Good. I tried to say yes, but nothing came out, so I just nodded and dragged my sleeve
You're in a vid.
across my face. In the mirror behind him, Eli stood in the spot where Dad used to stand. Dad spent the last 2 months of his life teaching an 8-year-old to tie a Windsor knot, so I'd never tie it.
Oh, I'm already friends with Billard.
First hunting trip, and by sundown, I was
Oh, isn't it 6 to 80?
He ruffled my hair. "You're a natural." We were 2 miles from the truck when the trail dropped into a muddy wash.
2 Oxis players. That be Oxis.
The crowd bounced off the tree His ankle was bent 90 degrees the wrong way, and the bone was pushing against his
I have chat on.
and my legs locked up.
I have.
From that morning, panic kills you out here. I knelt down
Yeah.
beside him and grabbed his shoulder.
I have
Dad,
chat
Dad,
on.
I'm gonna fix it. I pulled out
So
cut my sleeves off for the splint. I jammed a branch against his leg and tied the strips around him with 3 real knots. He was sweating through his shirt and going pale. The sun was almost down. Get up. I can't let it. Just leave me here. I
So-
jumped under his arm and pulled him
I have chat. So you're in a vid no matter what.
Every step he gasped.
Go, go, go.
It was dark when we came over the hill and saw the truck. He collapsed against the door and pulled me into his chest, crying. I was supposed to teach you to be a
Go, go, go.
I started the engine. You did, Dad. 3 hours ago. The minute you called me a natural. My little brother jumped on
It's
me
your
and
first
shouted
time
at
at the drop. Spam
I
go.
dragged myself downstairs to find him already waiting in the kitchen. He slid a folded paper across the table with 3 events.
WTF?
You win.
55?
I win. You teach me to drive. He could barely reach the kitchen counter. But
5-5.
it was worth it. I had work in a couple hours, and the last thing I needed was
5-5.
so I signed. First event
5-5.
between 2 trees in the yard.
55.
First to tag both wins. We lined up and he counted us down. I figured I'd coast, but he sprinted and tagged the far tree and beat me back by a step. I crossed laughing. You got faster over summer. Next was a tree climb. He pointed at the oak. First to climb up and grab the 3rd branch. We both jumped at the bark, but I was barely at the 1st branch when he was on the 3rd one, biting an apple. When did you start climbing trees? He shrugged with his mouth full. Practice. Last was a swim across the creek. He pointed at the far bank. First one across. We both jumped in, and I pulled ahead. But halfway across, he pulled alongside me. He wasn't even breathing hard, and I knew he'd been training for the water, too. I stopped swimming while he touched the bank and climbed out. I climbed out soaked. You win. I'll teach you Monday. He didn't celebrate, just held out his hand for the keys. I knew something was up. I asked him why he wanted this so bad. He swallowed. Dad's not coming back. You do the school runs and you work and you're always tired. If I drive myself, you get your mornings back. I sat down in the wet grass. You do realize you still have years to go before you can actually drive? He shrugged. A promise is a promise. That's why Monday I took him to a parking lot. He could barely see over the wheel, hit the gas instead of the brake, and we drove into a hole. I dropped my face into my hands. I knew teaching a 9-year-old how to drive was a terrible idea. My wife held out a spoon with the sweetest smile and asked if I wanted to try her new recipe. Our house had smelled like cinnamon rolls all afternoon. She'd been dancing in her socks with flour on her cheeks, giggling to herself the whole time. But the smell was too good for me to care, so I figured the spoon was a taste of her batter. I closed my eyes and opened my mouth, waiting for that creamy cinnamon flavor. Instead, she switched the spoon for one heaping with pure cinnamon and shoved it into
Oxis drop ATT.
and the cinnamon went straight down my throat in a cloud of dust.
Spam.
Counter wheezing with laughter. I tried to
Spam.
the cinnamon had already turned.
Spam go.
I started slapping the counter and pointing
Spam go. Spam go. Spam go. Spam go.
I slid off the stool and onto the kitchen floor. My chest was on fire. I was making a high whistling sound, trying to suck air through the paste. She was on the floor next to me, laughing too, kicking her feet. Your face. Oh my God, your face. Everything started going black at the edges, so I grabbed her arm and squeezed it hard. Her smile finally cracked, and she dropped to her knees beside me. Babe, you okay? I couldn't get a sound out because my throat had closed up. She grabbed her phone and screamed at the dispatcher to send an ambulance now. I was strapped to a stretcher with an oxygen mask. The paramedics were rolling me out the front door. She was running alongside, crying, Babe, I'm so sorry. It was a joke. It was just a joke, please. I pulled the oxygen
Better, da da, 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 better, da da da, better, da da, better, da da, better, da da, better. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. Down, 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 down. Don't knock me, don't knock me, don't knock me, don't knock me. Yeah, close the nightmare. Oh my God! What the fuck? Like I keep dying, twin. What the? What the? Ah! Oh my god. Bend to the bend to the to the da 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 da. Like on God, I just keep dying to that spot. I don't know why though. I just keep dying there. Like I keep dying there. It's about that coach Mateo. Just a bit. Freaky creatures hiding amongst the party. No, party. The body, party, deciding, deciding.
This physicist right here, he has degrees from MIT, and the exposed gravity is a lie. The Earth is accelerating upward. That's the real reason we stick to the ground. A kid in the front row burst out laughing. Brody held up a finger. Laugh now. You won't be laughing when you see the rest. Next slide was a photo of the ocean. He spread his arms wide. Exhibit B. If the Earth was a ball, you'd see the bed from any beach. Ask yourself why nobody ever has. Third slide was a physics equation with half of it crossed out. This proves the Earth cannot be a sphere. I didn't make this up. It's basic math. Nola put her head on the desk. Brody pointed at her. That right there is the equation of someone whose eyes are being opened. Any questions? Mrs. Kowalski stood up for the first time since her presentation started. Brody, that MIT physicist from your first slide. Pull the full video up. Brody grinned and clicked back to the slide button. You want to see more? Happy to. She walked to the screen. Play it from the beginning. Not your screenshot. The actual video. Brody shrugged and hit play. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're dismantling the most common flat Earth claims using basic physics. Every head and eyes turned toward Brody. His hand shot toward the mouse, but Mrs. Kowalski was already next to him. The video kept going, pulling apart the exact arguments he just made, slide by slide, point by point. Brody sat down without a word. Mrs. Kowalski looked at him. You told us all week to do our own research. Maybe next time. Start with yours. She closed the laptop. The bell rang, and Nola walked past his desk without even looking at it. I woke up to 20
Okay, guys.
boss. I looked at the clock and saw that I should have
Bye.
3 hours ago, and now I was risking being late for my flight. I opened my boss's
Bye,
desk.
YT.
Missed the flight to the